Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the meal. On the beginning, in few words, I introduce myself. My name is Panfil. I worked more than 18 years at ASE company, so now I'm responsible for the marine and offshore segment. My presentation is divided for three different groups of products. First group is a modular cable transit systems, MCT Brattberg. The second one will be marine external lighting for Tranberg company from Norway. And the third part is a special RGP enclosures for the very sensitive field instrumentation to protect against the harsh environment. So let's start from the beginning. MCT Brattberg, the presentation of cable and pipe penetration seals. I would like to show you what is the system, how it works, etc. Some few sentences about the history. This nice man is a Niels Brattberg, is a founder of the systems. He was a naval architect in Karlskrona naval shipyard in Sweden. And he found they see the need to seal the cable and pipes on the ships, and he found the special system. And after he died, from his name, the company changed the name from Likab to MCT Brattberg. The company is based in Likeborg near Karlskrona in Sweden. Founded in 1759, it's more than 250 years. On the beginning, they produce the hammers, copper hammers, but from 1860 they manufactured nails. But 60 years ago, they received a royal charter to manufacture cable transit systems. Now is a world leader in the cable penetration systems. Business areas. Of course, cable transit is present in all of the market, everywhere in the world, wherever cables we have, and we have a problem how to seal the cables. It could be offshore oil and gas platforms, satellite and communications, power plant, petrochemical, pharmaceutical plant, marine and of course industry. System properties. Why we want to use cable transit system? Because we want to protect the people and their property against fire. They have a fire class A60 and H120. H, it means hydrocarbon for the offshore. Water and gas tightness, and we protect against explosion. And waves of electromagnetic fields. And this is special blocks EMC. Additionally, it's our customer needs our system because wants to protect the cable transit against the shock, vibration, high temperatures, chemical attacks, rodents, UV radiation. It's also a funny story because our system has a special paper approvals for there is not so good, not so tasty for the rats. So we have a special papers. This is very important in the especially harbor and also land application, big plants that there is rodents are present. Of course, today's seminar is devote AX zones, so our system also fulfill these requirements. ESAX for zone 1 for gas and dust. How the cable transit works. It's very simple idea. we have to install the frame into the structure. It could be, we could weld to the instruction, we can bolt it. It doesn't matter where we are. So it could be like this wall, brick wall like this, or it could be the bulkhead in the vessel. So it doesn't matter. We have special solution for each places, and we pull the cable through to the openings, open frame, and adjust to the cable block, insert block, and fill free spaces. We fulfill the special blocks. It means zero blocks or spare blocks, and we put special stay plates between the rows of the modules to anchor the rubber into the frame, and put on the top the compression systems and tighten it, the screw, and we have everything properties like fire, water and gas tightness is up to 5 bars thanks to these systems. So on the beginning I would like to show you some frames for the marine applications, because the system was started from the marine 60 years ago, and I will start from this segment. The standard frame, it's very easy. It's a marine frame welded or bolted to the structure. Is a frame. The name is a RGS. This is the standard frame. This is the on the left side. We use in the place where welding is allowed. The second frame is a RGSO with open-ended version. It means it's used when we have cables already put on the cable transit. So we have to use the open version of the frame. And the third picture, this is round the corner frames. These special frames for welding in the place to reduce the risk of the cracking. Next frames is the RGSF and RGSFB. F, it means the flange. This is the flange, and B is bolted, flange with the bolted. So it's very easy to know the short name. We use this frame when we have not accurately cut the openings in the bulkhead on the ships. Of course, it's also bolted version where is not possibility to weld. So both of this frame could be in open version also. The next time of frames is RGSK and RGS-B2B. RGSK, this is the frame mounted on the bulkhead or deck, and to secure the cables, to want to keep some distance between the cable transit from the deck to the cables. And also, it's, for example, on the deck, the water could appear constantly. So the cables will be sometimes frozen, sometimes not. So it could be some problems with the leakage. That's why we're using the big size of the frame to have a distance. The second picture is a special frame RGS-B2B. Is mostly used in the offshore application for the recoils, and we can use in the both side. For example, in the left side we can use the standard blocks for example fire class applications, but in this side we can use EMC protection. So excellent application frame. For example, in the harbor, in the buildings, in the industry, cables room. So we use, if you have a brick wall like this and concrete wall, so we use the RGB frame or RGBO. RGB is a thinner frame than the marine version, but it looks nearly the same with the flange. But RGBO has an open-ended version for already cables. So next frame is a RGG with and extension frame, especially for a container. It means this sandwich. It looks like a sandwich. It means is a very thin sheet of steel and some insulation inside, and the last part is also a sheet of steel, like a sandwich. And we use this kind of frame. It has a pre-drilled holes, some flange, and we can put to the container, for example. How to install the frame in the building area, and of course we can casting directly in the structure or bolted to the wall. So very easy. Or welded onto reinforcing bars. So, but we have to remember that if we welding, you have to fulfill special casting mold. Inside of the frame because it could be some dirt inside after the welding. This is installation of the sandwich construction, as you mentioned before. So it's very easy, and we use additional seal between the flange of the frames and the wall. So our system was first on the world, and Niels Brattberg found 4 standard size. It's from the right side, so it's RGs 2, 4, 6, and 8. The width is the same, 120 millimeters inside parameters, but there is a difference in the height. Of course, it doesn't matter how many cables we are. So it could be 300 different type of cables. So we can adopt the frames to the quantity of the cables and their external diameter. So, of course, depends on your application. We can use the frame made from the stainless steel, from the mill steel, aluminium, or galvanized. Of course, galvanized steel is not recommended for the welding because it will be burned. Most of the production of the frames is located in Karlskrona in Sweden and on the robotically welded. So we have a perfect quality, excellent delivery times, and each of the frames are tested in not only the dimensions but also the welding points. Yeah. Type of blocks, modules. In the systems we have a few standard blocks. First of all, and for us is the most interesting, and we recommended use the standard blocks like this. This is okay. I will show you later in the next slide how it looks like. Flexible blocks, out blocks, U-blocks, and spare blocks for the free place. Standard blocks. Standard blocks consist from 2 half suitable for outer diameter from 3.5 till 101.5 millimeters external diameter. And it's important that this part of all the products made from the rubber is pre-lubricated. It means that it's you don't have to think about special lubricate. Zero blocks, it means spare blocks we use when we have want to some free spaces in the frame for the future additional cables. Flexible ad blocks. Of course, we call it service blocks. It means that it's very good if you have no idea what type of cables it is on your application, on the ships or on the field. So we can take these flexible blocks. He has a 5 millimeters tolerance. You don't bother what cables will come. This ad block has a special external layers like this, and you can adjust after measure the cable. You choose the proper layers. This layer has a different width, so there is also information on the blocks for what type of external diameters of the cables use. Proper. So how it works, after measuring the cable, you select the appropriate layers. So you put inside the blocks. The rest of the leaves is separated from the blocks, and the same way you made with the other half of the blocks. Some features about the rubbers, about the modules. Modules is a rubber components made by injection molding. Is a halogen-free material, low rate of smoking during the fire. This is the most important on the ship. Is to protect the people not against the fire, against the smoke. The smoke is killed first, then the fire. So rubber parts are pre-greased, pre-lubricated, so this is a very, very clean job to do it via our system, and very simple and fast. Ad blocks is enable adjustment of the cable diameter directly for the installation. This is, as you mentioned, a service block. It means that if you travel 500 kilometers on some application and you have no idea what cables they are, so you can take the flexible block. But if you have ships on the shipyard, on your investment here, located here, so it's much easier, much faster and cheaper is using the standard blocks. Of course, between all the rows of the blocks we use stay plates, which help us to anchor the blocks into the frame, and also protects against an explosion and high pressure. We have two different systems for compression. First is made from the two parts is end packing STG and compression plate. So it's very easy to do it. It's on the beginning you put the compression plate, tighten the screw, and you have a complete seal, and you put then on the top of the frame STG1 is a compression unit, and you fill and seal only the top of the part of the frame. So the second system is a PTG 120. It's very simple, and you can using whatever anywhere in the frame, not only the top, in the medium, whatever, however cables come to the cable transit. It's very simple. Also, you need only one key to tighten the screw, and this part comes together to each other, and that's why we have a compression. Very simple. Next product, it was first I show you rectangular frames, but now it's a round frames. It's very popular also when you have a small quantity of the cables or single cables or pipe. As you mentioned it on the first slide, this system is recommended not only for the cables but also for the pipes. And we have all approvals also for the pipes. Of course, different shapes, and we're using the standard blocks inside. Also, it's present in the open version. How to install? It's very, very simple. You have to have the round sleeve welded into the structure or bolted here on the wall. You put the RGP frame, put the pipe or cables, and fulfill the blocks. And tighten the screw on the outside part of the frames. That's all. Especially for the marine market, is for the frame as air is dedicated for the single cables. And of course, Lloyd certification for fire class A60, tested on the pressure to 5 bars, made from the stainless steel. But this is for the single cables and with the big tolerance. So, for example, the smallest one is for cables from 4 till 12 millimeters external diameter. For the land application mainly, but cable gland AMS air is also flexible system, but it could be used also in the marine market instead of plastic enclosures body of this cable gland. When we use the metal housing, so we have the certificate for fire class. It's tested up to 15 bars of the pressure. So it's a kind of cable glands, but also certified with the fire class and pressure. Deck and bulkhead gland is the next product, very popular for the NATO because the product have NATO codes. Is also certified in the fire class A60, up to 15 bars of pressure. And we use these cable glands when it's impossible to make some hot jobs, hot works on the ships. For example, welding is not allowed. So you can screw the cable glands into the deck or bulkhead. If we have some switchboards and we have to seal the preterminated cables, you do not use the standard cable glands because of the preterminated cables. So we can use this kind of cabinet seals made from the aluminium and rubber, and it's a perfect solution instead of standard cable glands. And we put to the screw to the enclosures directly. So we have not a fire class, but IP66, 67. Next product. This is a special product for electromagnetic compatibility for the EMC. So it gives us additional security. Additional protection against EMP, electromagnetic pulses, such as lightning, electronics, sabotage, and electrostatic. So each block has a special thin shape, thin steel, like here, and you have to take off the insulation from the cables in this part, and the screen of the cable touch this metal sheet, and you have a special grounding. Of course, we have a software software is free of charge, we can give you as a free, and you can make some designing by themselves, or we can do it for you. Especially, this is not the problem. We need only information how many cables you have and what is the cable diameter, and so it's very simple to using this type of software. Of course, after this meeting, so please ask Sergey or for this program. So functions of the MCT Brattberg, as you mentioned, it is a fire class for special protection for integrity and insulation. For the A60 is a marine fire class. H120 is a hydrocarbon. It's for the offshore industry. Jet fire and American standard as well. We pass criteria for the integrity. Prevent passage of the flames, hot gases, smoke, both hot and cold. And it's important that after the fire, able to withstand hose stream from various angles. So this is the criteria integrity. So it looks like after the fire. For example, this is the fire side, and this is the other side. The cable is not damaged, but after the fire, that's totally damaged. During high temperature cable, insulation is burned. That's important. And after that, the blocks this is not a standard rubber. It's a special rubber. And this rubber fills the gap created after burning the insulation by extending the blocks, the module. So the cable transit stops the fire before charring modules. So tests demonstrate the stability of the transition even in the fire. Next criteria is the insulation. So it means we are talking about the temperature. According to the norms, it will be no passage of heat more than 180 degrees in the safe side. So it will be okay. But okay, this is measured by the thermocouples, but of course now it's a measure by the thermovision. And in our test, it's also measure metal parts like a stay plate, like the screw, and all parts have more than 100 degrees of Celsius. Also included to the measure is core cables. It's strange, but it's no passage of the heat. But during the 1 hour of the fire, it's more than 900 degrees of the fire. So this is a very small temperature after 1 hour. Is a test for jet fire. Also 60 minutes with the pressure. Tight application, pressure tight application tested to 5 bar, hydrostatic and pneumatic. Explosion, blast testing is also tested. So it's some conclusion. Is a history. It's more than 60 years now. So we have a big experience, proven product solution to real problems. So we can adapt to your problems. And so we have a special welding techniques, quality frames, very big. Blocks are made by injection molding. So all the products has a special approvals. Its certification is be backed by testing. So this is innovation, of course, pre-lubricated blocks, alt blocks, RG plan, a special gland, ASR, MSR, the gland. So now I will present on the few slides marine lighting, external marine lighting from the Norwegian company Tranberg. Tranberg is a company, is a part of the Stahl group, belongs to the Stahl group now from 6 or 7 years, I don't remember precisely. But they are focused only for the marine lighting. So it's a complete external lighting packages for any kind of vessels. So we deliver navigation lights and control panels, searchlights, floodlights, deck lighting, heli deck lighting. So navigation light, as you see on the picture, this is there is a small here lamps. Each vessel should have this kind of lights. This is a standard and norms. So our navigation light has a 20 years guarantee. We are the leader in the navigation light. Our navigation light are made from the brass and glass, so it's impossible to damage. And this is proper for very, very harsh environment in the salt atmosphere. Of course, we can also deliver polycarbonate navigation lights, Peters Bay. And for all the navigation lights and signal lights, we deliver control panels. Searchlight systems. So also very important light on the ships for looking, for example, iceberg. So it could be different type of the searchlight. It depends of the light source. It could be halogen or xenon. Of course, the xenon is better because the distance it's nearly 4 times more than halogen. It's important. Different power. It could be deck mounted, bridge operated, relay operated, bus operated, made of course from the stainless steel. Simple installation. So we can via one control panel we can operate up to 8 different searchlights on the ships. So everything is connected via bus line. So it's very simple. Small dimension of the control panel is dedicated only for the searchlights. Floodlights. So, for example, PSV, AHTS vessels, they have a place for work. There are some cranes here, so everything could be lighting via floodlights. It looks like this floodlights, and for the AX application we have the yellow one. Okay. There's also different type of light source. It's a halogen, high pressure sodium, and different watts. Deck lights, different types, like obstruction lights, emergency light, fluorescent light, and heli deck lighting. It's also important. Most of the offshore vessels has a heli deck, so it's according to a requirement, special marine requirement, so they have some special lighting, like green LED perimeter lights, xenon floodlights, illuminated windsock, Of course, we can deliver for the different areas, safe or hazardous, and of course for the different voltage also. Some electrical installation material like junction boxes, switches, sockets, cable glands, Morse keys, all product made from the brass or stainless steel. Complete package. So if you have a project for the vessels and you're looking for the lights, so you have to call us, Sergey, and for the complete package of the lighting. So it's very easy. Of course, our lights could work in different environments. It could be like this. It's really nice to swim. It's a barbecue in the Bahama Island, maybe. I don't know, but it's hot. Humidity is also big, so it could be. It looks like a nice environment, but it's not. Or equipment for Arctic environments. So it could, the ships could look like this. So it's not so easy job to be there and make some jobs here. So that's why our navigation lights it's not a LED, because LED has no heat, and after a few minutes it could be looks like this. But our navigation light has a standard bulb and 24 volts, and they have a heat, so it is a visible light, even if this environment. So that's all about the lighting. So the next group of products. Intertech. Intertech is our German partner for which produce complete systems to protect the very sensitive field instruments against the harsh environment. So if you want to secure safe operation of all sensors in the plant in the harsh environment, so we can protect them via special enclosures. This enclosures is here. You can see. Also, if you want to avoid signal drift because of the high temperature fluctuation, to avoid corrosion problems, thanks high humidity. So corrosive chemical like hydrogen sulfide, chlorine, etc. Or when we want to provide a reliable signal for to 20 milliamps from the process to the DCs, and so we're using this kind of shelter. How it looks like. We have different products in the Intertech portfolio. First off is a SafeLink complete enclosures, cabinet and shelters, and some heaters, which we put inside the shelters, of course. So the most important is no headache for the designers, for the owners, for the installators. No headache, trouble-free instrument operation. There are some pictures, some samples, how it looks like when you do not protect the instrumentation of the harsh environment. It could be in a salt environment also. This is very corrosive material. Even when we have stainless steel materials in some application where it's very high temperature, more than 30 degrees of Celsius and high humidity, so even stainless steel 316 could could be corrosive after 2 years. So we have to protect all equipment, all sensors. Also the pictures. There is also the water inside. Maybe there was no breathing glands inside the enclosures. To avoid corrosion, you have to use the right material. So our product is made from the GRP, the glass fiber reinforced polyester. It's composite, of course. And this is the sample from refinery Bayern oil after 40 years of using. So this looks like the new one. Of course, it's a little bit dirty after 40 years of, but it looks okay. It looks okay. So it works after 40 years. No corrosion. We have here some enclosures with the glass. So also when we clean a little bit here, so everything is visible. The nameplate is visible, and no corrosion, of course, because it's a composite. So also it will be a few slides about the protection field instruments, how it could be done and how it should be done. So first, how it could be done. This is the samples from our experience. But on the beginning, I show you on the slide information what we receive when we have a special, when we protect via shelter the instrumentation. We have a air temperature, it's max plus 55 degrees, minimum minus 60 in the Arctic. On the surface, the temperature is also minus 60, but maximum it could be plus 80 degrees. It's also the same temperature if we do not cover the instrumentation. If we put some roof only, so we decrease only the maximum temperature from 80 plus 80 to plus 55, because this is the air temperature. Also it could be difficult, but if you put with some insulated shelter, so inside it will be maximum plus 45 and minimum plus 10. So that's why it's I know that some sensors, equipment on the nameplate has some information that it's proper for minus 40 even, but I don't think so. It could be good. I think this is the peak of temperature, minus 40. This is not a standard all the time. So it could be done like this. Some customer wants to insulate the instruments like this. Like this. Some tapes. I don't know why. Some steel shelters, but not insulated via foil, or some tapes. It doesn't work. Sorry. Also in the Arctic temperature is not correct. It also looks better, but still doesn't work. Yeah. This is they try to insulate the shelter, but this is the heater here, some insulated foil inside, and also they steel shelter, they insulate outside, so it doesn't work. And it could be made like this. So this is important that on the first step on the project you have to think about it. It means that if you have some instruments on the fields, so you have to think about the air temperature outside and inside, of course. For us, it's very easy when you, on the beginning of the project, you send us information about the products which you want to use inside the shelters and the boxes. What kind of producers, about the manifold, also some information, and we can very simple prepare proper enclosures, which is insulated proper and give us normal temperature inside. It should be like this. Okay, but on the designing steps, this is information which customer received from us. There is drawings of the enclosures with your devices inside and list of the products which should be used. This is also a few slides. And this is diagonal shelters like this one with the open roof. Solution ceiling. No, I don't have time to see a crazy salesman. We have got a battle to fight. So sometimes we keep the eyes closed for the new products. So we go in the standard way, but sometimes it's okay when we take something new. It's much easier. So the heaters for explosion proof, of course, cabinet shelters. Of course, it was the small one cabinets, but now these are the big shelters and container for all kinds of applications. This is basic standard. It has an insulation 20 millimeters. It looks like this. It could be together with the HVAC systems for desert applications. Few slides only and I'm finished, so don't worry. This is also Sadara analyzer shelters. Some cabinets for the firefighting equipment of the offshore platform. And for the Arctic environments, we have a shelter with bigger insulation inside. So also in the fire class A60. So it looks like this. It is for Saipem, is a class F120. It's also fire protection and safety for the offshore. And we have also hot box if you want to keep hot, big temperature inside the box. So for desert application is the HVAC. It means the heating, ventilation and air conditioning in the one product. HVAC is here. So it's an air conditioner for the ATEX zone, approval for zone 1, separate inside, outside circuits, suitable for AXP solution. Some application video surveillance system for refinery in Algeria, also for offshore. The name of the project is Prelude. Is a ship owner is a Shell, special vessel FLNG, and here is a cabinets inside to protect the instrumentation. So thank you very much for your attention, for your time. If you have a question,